taking exhaust heal. Although I think Flash works out really well in Jaina because she has the ability to win team fights with her ult.
Yeah, but I basically came to it because I mean I learned this basically from watching Roshan now. He's a player for Icons of Vanity, and he would play Jaina, and he would go, and he would basically forfeit. Flash is one of the first people I saw do this, and he would always take like exhaust heal and play like a really aggressive lane or work in a CV. And what I kind of figured out was that you basically as a support you should always be in the correct position. And flashing to ults can be really good or cute in some circumstances, but in most team fights you just need to peel for your carry. You should be next to him anyways, and you can just do that anyways, and you don't have to have a flash in there. Instead, you can win your game lane early and try to get out of some of those early situations where Jan's a little bit weaker early. And we see Factset's actually doing a little bit of an engage here, a little poke out, maybe catching an engage from EA, looping around, maybe thinking that they have the old team solo mid move.
I think I would have liked to seen Factset actually invade here. I think they have a stronger early level 1. And I think they could actually hurt Nautilus quite a bit. Nautilus really needs that early blue buff.
Minions have spawned.
He's much like a Mumu.
And if he falls behind, although I really like that skin.
Yeah, it's the Chaos, basically 40k kind of skin for Nautilus. Any of you Warhammer 40k fans out there?
And it might have been they were anticipating an invade, so maybe they're going to go for a quick red and then maybe a quick level 2. Gank, that would not surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, Nautilus naturally from his passive, so not out of the question at all. Maybe, they might expect the counter here. Because sometimes players like to do that save smite, quickly go over there and try to steal the run into the enemy over there, or they could be in a lot of trouble. I'm interested to see this top lane because Smash Gizmo is pretty much a stud. Like, this is like his main Jarvan, so he knows his character as well as you can possibly know.
He's going to be in a lot of trouble right now, though, because Riven's knockup actually closes quite a bit of distance, and Nautilus is level 2 with red buff.
Ooh, he's moved out a little bit, but Nautilus apparently doesn't want to quite engage right now. A lot of patience, I guess. Waiting for this lane push. As he moved out, a little bit earlier, misses the hook, and so Smash Gizmo's going to be completely safe here. Yeah,
he would have wanted to gank before Jarvan hit level 2. As soon as Jarvan hits level 2, he's going to have a built-in escape mechanism.
Yeah, he can flag spear and basically move out of range and be safe. Although it looks like Nautilus is kind of camping here. And he's going to be flagged, so the jig is up. But this will land this time. They don't have the stun, and the red buff. They're going to put him down to about half health, but he should be able to escape out. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, Nautilus actually wasting quite a bit of time. He is leeching some experience, so he's going to hit level 3. He will have that smite. And what he'll end up doing is probably going to take double golems. Meanwhile, Udyr has noticed that Nautilus has not been over to there, and so he's actually going to get a free blue buff.
This is really, really smart by Ehog. Very, very smart move by a Phoenix Udyr who can actually clear the jungle really, really quickly, kind of like the original, Shyvana kind of character.
Yeah, and I actually think he, with the correct rune setups, actually clears as fast, if not faster. And I think overall, I usually use Phoenix Udyr to counter pick Shyvanas.
It looks like he's rotating a little bit bottom, but he's probably not going to come in for a gank. Some good harass, we saw earlier down here actually when we popped down to Sona, but healing back up by Soraka. They take that poke comp from Ash Sona. But the good part, about the Factset lineup, if you look at them, is that everybody has stuns. They have multiple AoE stuns or shackles, so it's very, very advantageous when they get into team fights. Where if you look at EA's team, they have about 3 stuns on their lineup. Some of them don't last that long. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out once we hit the team fighting stage. I feel like EA is going to need a little bit of an advantage heading into mid or late game to be able to win some team fights. But right now, I just kind of like the overall team for Factset a little bit better.
Yeah, I think they're really, most of them have built-in tankiness. There's a lot of CC.
Gank coming up from behind. Will he land the hook? That's the question. He's going to do a melee attack on Sona first. And they're going to take her really, really low.
Yeah, Sona actually eating the hook from eating the anchor,
which is good support play. Support play. If you are the bodyguard, you got to take that bullet. The AD is your president. Jump in there. Take some hits. Die for the greater good.
So Rise actually doing decent job last hitting under turret. He is eating quite a bit of harass, but he's staying pretty even in creeps, and that's exactly what you want to do as Rise whenever you're in a matchup that's against a pusher like Malzahar. Is you know, a skilled Rise player is deadly no matter who you are, because he doesn't really have that bad of a lane matchup. Maybe a Cassiopeia who can shove creeps really well and then get out of lane for ganks, which is what Malzahar is going to want to do. So once he gets that, well, he's not going to get an early blue. So what he would have wanted was probably a 7-minute blue, and then would have more liked to like shove the lane and tried to be a bully, put Rise under turret. Right now, he's probably going to have to just do it without any sort of blue buff advantage, although blue buff was recently nerfed.
Yeah, blue buff is about half now. You don't quite. The good news is that Ryan he wants to do tier, he wants to go catalyst, he doesn't have a lot of items that are just going to give him mana. So eventually, to the point late game, you have max cooldown, you have so much mana anyways, but blue isn't really necessary. You can actually switch it off to other team members if you really want. Now we see Malzahar is rotating down and possibly going to go for a gank here. They do have a ward at this tri-brush, so blue should be safe. A little bit of pressure going on. Malzahar is spotted out. They know to hug this, so his time is a little bit wasted here, and Rise is going to get some easy
and he's actually going to be in trouble because here goes Udyr.
Oh, they will see this, and he actually will flash right away to get the stun onto him. I'm kind of interested that Ash gave away, they can see him with the little hawk shot there.
Yeah, I've actually I've seen that a lot. Yeah, I think it's just a gut reaction or something. It's like, haha, I know you're there type thing. A lot of times the support players used to do that with CV, and I would actually freak out on my support player like, why did you CV them? We have a ward there. What are you doing?
It's a good counter juggling actually. Now Riven has pushed Smash into his turret and backed up and down Alice, and then team up to really good. Looks like high level forward thinking and current kind of strategy. And Alice is going to pick up a blue, so his blue was stolen. They're going to get one back for their team.
Yeah, and it's luckily they didn't hang out a little bit, or it's luckily Rise was a little bit slower to that blue buff, because Rise really would have wanted that.
Jarvan's a little bit stumbling passive stun now. Really goes, there's the flag, jumps out, has that pop up, so good for escaping. Wind Slash goes through, misses the hook, and he is safe. Smash gives him good patience there for popping out of that. It's such a good escape because if they're behind you, you simply pop them up in the stun while you're escaping, which is so handy. And again, if you are tuning in, this is a best of 3 between Factset, the blue team, and EA, the purple team, for the After Hours Gaming League playoffs, which are going down today. We will bring you this best of 3, and if you have a chance a little bit later, I believe Google and Amazon will be playing a little later. You might be able to catch one of their games. The game coming in here. There's the shackle. After the overcharge, Malzahar's not a lot of escape mechanisms. Almost kind of like a brand where it's like your defense is your offense. If you're out of a flash in that scenario, and you don't have it, it's not quite as good as the brand. The brand at least has like a better, like you can stun and run away, where Malzahar's like, I have to stun you and stay here. And look at you. Now is pulled back into the trap. That is a big shackle around a big Nautilus. And look at those overloads. It chunks so much damage. Flash under for the stun. One more overcharge, and we're gonna. The Phoenix is gonna pick up the kill. So Eddie Hobbs is gonna a double kill, basically 2 kills in mid lane.
And actually going to pick up that blue buff. What they might want to do is consider rotating over and stealing the enemy blue, but I think he's a little bit low. He's going to want to keep his current buffs that he's just picked up. And with those 2 kills, he's going to have a really quick wriggles, which means they could potentially go for early dragons now, in terms of a quick dragon. And they would have the advantage because that extra gold.
Yeah, and again, the key thing we're talking about too is, Rise has 2 assists with Malzahar, which, is really a win for Rise, because Rise is the better late game character.
Also, Jarvan has teleport, so they can easily set up, a 5v4 on Dragon, should they choose to do so.
And if you look at his CS, Riven went down and countered his move. He's up about 20 assists. He's up about a kill. He actually has the advantage. And that's what Smash Gizmo wants to do. I mean, he wants to farm up, get that excellent farm, and he's a ridiculous tank. It's hard to deal with.
I think Phoenix Leader probably wouldn't go for Wriggles. He might actually go for a Wit's End, which would be the more appropriate item. for a Phoenix Udyr out of the jungle. But you combine that with a teleport from Jarvan and a potential gank here on bot once they decide to coordinate Ash Arrow. What Udyr could have also done with that quick gold was buy an early Oracle. I would have liked that as an option as well.
Yeah, get the vision on the map and then maybe try to go for those dragons like you were saying.
Because that way, but by opening up the map that and with that early advantage, that allows you to be extremely scary. It's basically saying, hey, you have no map control and I can come from anywhere I'd like to with the gank.
Yeah, and you could also make sure that, like, if you are going for a gank, that no one did see you while you're running through there.
Jarvan's actually going to get caught out of... Oh, almost got caught out of position. They know he's in the area. They saw him pass a ward.
This ward and river handy dandy down here. This is a good ward for purple, although if you do not have a ward here or a forward ward here, they can actually loop around back behind the jungle where Nautilus is running right now and actually still gank you top. So this ward down here isn't always the best placement for a ward. But it's pretty solid. Mid can usually pick up some wards, help you out there with some good coverage. Looks like he's spending ward.
So Udyr, having seen that Nautilus was near that top part of the jungle, could again start making the movement towards Dragon. I would have liked to see a position as well as an option, maybe to support or Udyr. But so far, they're going to sit on their 2 kills. They're going to farm a little bit. They have a strong late game lineup, and they really have no need to force Dragon. So, not complaining in that regard.
Oh yeah, no, we've talked about it, like, in earlier casts that we've done, if you've ever followed any of our casts, but, we'll bring it up again, but Genie Chronicle's doing a thing on CLG at AHGL. Oh, an Ash Arrow coming in. Udyr's going to follow with a stun on Soraka. Soraka has a shield, though, so she should be able to escape out. But there's another good stun all following in here, and there's another stun. And no, there it is, just on the tip, and they will catch out Soraka. Soraka will fall near that turret, exhaust on the Graves. Poor Graves is going to have to watch the support fall, but lucky he is alive. And we're going to see a quick collapse onto Dragon. Smash is rotating down. Smart coordinated play by Factset. He was very, very strong here.
Now they are going to be without the Ash and Sona ult, so if they did poke them down and try to engage, they could.
Will get Dragon. Now we're going to fight. Udyr to be taken down right away by Malzahar's focus. With the combined with the Nautilus. Smash goes to the next target there. Has the dot on. The dot's going to pass over to Ash. After trying to back out of this focus, go back on the Nautilus. Malzahar's still chasing. Still has some dinner in there. Putting on a silence as Nautilus will choke that right there. Gassy actually failed his flash. Will not be able to hop over the wall and wood flashes into nothing. But they will pick up more kills there. So that Dragon, great coordination, but they were a little bit too low. And like we were just about to say, Dragons are dangerous.
Yes.
Kind of like, they're like mini Baron scenarios. Because a lot of people, you've had that moment where you've been like, we're ahead, let's do Baron, and then you lose, and then they get the Baron buff, and it puts it more than you're like, haha, we got a kill on the support. Just don't only damage carrier really low, but it's a Dragon really low, much like a Baron does, and then they come in and actually have a better position on you because you're in a tight, confined space. And the next thing you know, you're down, a couple kills. But they did get the Dragon, so that will help out their team balance out a little bit of that damage. Purple's actually pulled ahead now.
Yep.
They were down about 8 gold. So that was not necessarily and, good heads-up play by Riven actually getting down there. I actually was surprised how fast she did get down there because she doesn't have teleport. And she was all the way top when we decided to do that Dragon. She flip-flopped her way down there with a quickness, but failed to flash the wall. Pretty hardcore.
It's okay. I mean, we're still looking pretty even. No one team has a clear advantage. If the kills that did go to Malzahar is going to make him a little bit stronger, he's probably going to get a faster Rod of Ages because he's picked up 3 kills now. Ryze probably won't be too worried. If you go for a Rod of Ages on your AP carry, they're going to be less bursty if you were to rush maybe triple Dorns and a Rabadons. So with that in mind, Ryze should be okay as we move forward into the mid game. If we look at the CS of the bot lane carries, we're going to see Graves at 118. Did not pick up any kills, but hasn't died yet. And then Ash actually falling way behind. She's behind about 40 CS. But she did pick up a kill. So overall, not a massive disadvantage, but when you're talking about 300-400 gold, that could mean the difference between getting an early BF sword that like Graves has, or having to go with a Dorn's route. And she might actually hasn't had the opportunity to go back and shop.
She's about 1,200 right now.
Yep, so she's still missing that 3,400 gold would be really nice because she could go back real soon and pick up a VS sword. We are going to see.
Asher's going to lead it off. Udir's not going to run around. Flashes in stun. Soda all falling down. Ray's going to do a little dancing and will be able to escape. Slows from Asher's off the Johnson's going to wait from that. But Eddie Hobbs will pick up another kill here as Udir. Great coordination with all that CC, as I'm going to talk about later on those team fights. I think if they have an even gold advantage, like you see right here, 19.3 to 19.3, I think the advantage is in Factset's favor as far as going to late game. Although Ashley is a little bit behind, so she will catch up eventually later. And if they start winning team fights, then she'll definitely be catch up in gold. But right now, I like Factset's team going farther. Although EA has had great teamwork so far in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to objectives, and so far we've seen EA actually fight better at an objective. And so, Dragon's going to respawn here in about 5-ish minutes. Baron's always going to be a contention once we go past that 20-minute mark. It's going to be how each of these teams set up one another, which ones have map control, how does one team put another team out of position. I really like Factset's ability to initiate. That's really key right now. They have the Ash Arrow, the Stone Alt, which they've executed twice. They've got Jarvan for peeling purposes, and you've got Udyr, who is arguably, outside of an actual support character, one of the best peels in the game. He's also, can just be unkillable and a major disruption. So right now, I would say as we move into that mid-game, Factset has a pretty strong comp setup. They're not at any major disadvantage. However, looking at EA, Graves is farming really well. That's what you want. So, Graves is going to get back in lane after getting picked off there. He's going to consistently pick up a lot more creep stats. He's got that VS40, he's got double Thorns, he's picked up boots too. He's going to have Soraka just constantly feeding him mana and keeping him sustained. So, I really like what's going on here. And you've got Nautilus with an early Oracle. So, he's going to be picking off these wards. They're going to have that map control. So, ganks are going to happen. And that's what they're going to want to do to get an advantage.
I like the constantly warding of blue, and actually if we look up top, Riven's actually taking back the CS lead Jarvan, so they're both actually rocking Wriggles landers up top. They're pretty much copying each other a little bit here. Jarvan's going to obviously go a little bit more tanky. But actually impressive that Riven's been able to catch up, plus going down support kills with that and roaming on the map and doing all the counter objectives that she's been able to do. But like you said, better team comp for Factset. But right now, numbers-wise, AD carries are the most effective late game. And Graves is doing the best so far for EA's team. So that's kind of the feather in the cap moving forward. There we go. Great depth charge. Followed up there. Massive slows and actually popped back there by Riven's broken wing. That was very, very great play by this Gatsby up top.
Yeah, they were able to bait Jarvan to pull outside of the tower just a little bit, and the fact that they're so tanky between the two of them, and there's a lot of CC, they can take those kills at the tower, no problem.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what Nautilus is all about. I mean he's the big, huge tank character that can just roll in there and do things like that. Just a million ways to CC you and stuff like that. So great job of them, and they're clearing out wards here, preparing for the next dragon, which is very, very smart. That Oracle completely paying off for EA right now.
And by clearing out these wards, they're removing the ability for Jarvan to teleport in. But he's going to teleport into a Tribush ward, and I don't know. It is warded, so they know Jarvan's in the area. So we're going to see a potential forced fight here. I would love to see a pink ward go down. Let's see if Sona has what she does not. This is really dangerous for them. It's going to be a 5-on-5, and
they might just want to be picking a fight on purpose. Or want to do this from this little choke point right here. Like a little bit around Ash is actually a little trouble to going on. Just flash over to Ash to be missing the fight. Knowledge puts it on. Ash over with the magically with no one. Rises to CC. Now he's going to flash actually into the pit. Take out Riven. Rise doing a little guerrilla work here, and it looks like he is having trouble killing anybody right now. But Graves is going to do work on the Rise and finally take him down. And then once he gets into the fight, the DPS, the save DPS is going to carry out this fight. If they decide to go on, and Smash Gizmo's been left behind. He did not get the memo, and his flag spear combo is down. Flash a little bit now. He might escape from this. I think he is going to escape from this. Riffin running back away from Udyr. And after all that,
The AP carries traded for both teams.
2 people died. 2 people fall. Really, team fight there. I was actually very interested in, like the poor positioning from Factset that ended up being good with that. I can't believe that Ash arrow missed. I mean, sometimes it's like you hate to see it. It's like you shoot the arrow. It's like
there's no way I can miss
this. It's like
this.
shooting fish in the barrel until you realize that shooting fish in the barrel is actually really hard. And they all just move out of the way of your bullet.
So EA is going to pick up that dragon. They're going to actually move forward with a gold advantage now between the dragon and the ability to get back in lane and farm. If possible, Factset's going to want to try and recoup this by picking up a turret. Preferably mid-turret, be really strong. I think their best bet might be top. I think Jarvan has put some damage on that top turret. But ultimately, if they can regain, maybe try and set up like a tri-gank where maybe your mid and jungle, hit top, or if you have maybe an Ashe arrow plus jungle plus Ryze in mid. If they can set up a gank in that situation where they can commit and then push down a turret, that could be really beneficial right now. Just regaining some of that map control, and then what's really important would be to, an Oracle on Udyr would probably be really strong right now.
Yeah, they need to match this Nautilus play that's going on right now with the Oracle Nautilus and the Nautilus vision. Able to have advantage on this. And it's kind of gold-wise, it's Jarvan's at 140. Riven actually pulling a little bit farther ahead. Malzahar 164 versus 148 for Ryze, and Eden carries Ashe's at 128 versus 182 for Raze. That gap just keeps widening, and they can't seem to close it.
Maybe Ashe is maxing her hawk shot, and so therefore creeps are worth a little bit more. I doubt it.
Oh, little flash after pool combo onto Sona, who's caught out here. Great move by Messiah. I'd love to see good Malzahar players who can actually pull off that combo. It's so important. You basically have to play. If you play Malzahar, you have to play Smart Cast, much like a Ryze do. Well, you play every character Smart Cast pretty much. But Malzahar is one of those characters like you can get away with other characters. Smart Cast, you can't play Malzahar properly without Smart Cast. Like you can't actually throw down all the skulls fast enough directly for it and the full combo on people and get them caught.
So Nautilus actually was able to rotate top. I don't know if he is going to blue pill. He could have set up a brush gank. Where Ashe getting...
Oh, and Ashe, but she's going to use that arrow to get out of this, luckily for her. And Geico did buy some insurance right there with the Ashe arrow.
And this is a scary part for Ashe. The problem is being between those two turrets without a support. They're actually going to take that turret. And now the question is going to become what happens, because Soraka can actually now roam a little bit with that advantage. They still have Nautilus. It's going to be hard for Ashe to catch back up and farm unless the lane is continually to be close. She'll be able to freeze it a little bit. She'll be able to get a little bit of farm here, but what's going to happen is we're going to see bot lane rotate mid, and then they're just going to push really hard on that mid turret. And it's going to work out for them because Ryze doesn't have a ability to clear waves really quickly, and plus they've got Malzahar's pet, so that turret's going to go down.
Well, I think he does have the ability to clear waves quickly. The problem is that the turret is so low that there's no way he can possibly defend it safely against three people. Typically, I'm quickly. And it comes up on cooldown because you're constantly casting spells, especially with blue buff. The problem right there is, low towers, and it's pretty much the snowball strategy right now. They have the tower advantage. They're just going to constantly roam, take down these outer turrets right here. We're probably going to see top fall very shortly. It has a lot of damage on it too, and then we're going to see EA pressing advantage even more with their great objective play, and then trying to take control of the objective. That